Hi, Luke. I am Rajesh here, one of the co-founders at Devtron. So Devtron was started about 5.5 years back, along with two of my other co-founders. When we started, I think we all resonated on one thing, that Kubernetes is complex, and how do we give a superpower in the hands of both developers as well as the platform engineers or DevOps, because both of them had a lot of impedance mismatch, and we thought it's the best time to sort of give them codified platform tool where all of them can reside and do their daily chores. So that was the whole idea, and then we zeroed in on Kubernetes because that's the most profoundly used and more value-driven sort of orchestration system, and the world uses it. We thought, let's just solve for that, and that led to developing and building Devtron. So if you think of challenges that people face, there are two types of personas that we cater, as I said. One is the developers, whose main job or reason for existence is to code. They don't want to deal with complexities on Kubernetes, etc. So we were addressing that very easily through the platform, where we said that you focus on coding and leave the developer complexities on Kubernetes to us. We abstract out the complexities through a very low code, no code kind of an interface. And you don't have to remember kubectl commands, you don't have to remember a lot of things related to deployment nuances, and we sort of take that pain out from you. And literally every developer can become a Kubernetes expert by having this superpower like Devtron. On the other hand, the platform engineers or developer or DevOps folks, they are more dealing with production issues. So for them, the idea is, how do you really solve for the mundane jobs? And there is this whole impedance mismatch about, I want to do this, and sort of go back and forth between the user groups of developers and DevOps. So there's not a single system which sort of lets them do all the mundane jobs and let them focus on the more critical issues of productions, etc., and leave the rest to, again, a platform like that. So these two challenges and impedance mismatch between these two groups led us to have a common platform to sort of build on. So look, Kubernetes is a fairly widely used technology. There are a lot of people who are sort of flirting and dabbling with Kubernetes. Some are solving the infrastructure side, some are solving the build and deploy sides. I think one of the unique things about Devtron is that it's very centric to these two common players of developers and DevOps. We solve for developer self-serve, which we haven't seen many tools solve as elegantly as us. The second thing is that this is built on, from a deployment standpoint, this is built on top of fairly popular Argo CD. So there are a lot of people who reason that at a certain scale, Argo CD sort of starts to fumble, and that's where Devtron comes in, because we have taken the abstraction out of the Argo CD and any other platforms. The other important challenge with most of the folks are seeing is the tool sprawl. There are just too many tools. So Devtron is like a Swiss military knife for that, where we are saying that, hey, you have one tool and then you can launch so many other functions out of it. And it's like a modular platform where you can actually choose which function do you want to use. You want to not build from here, but you just want to deploy, or you want to just see a single pane of glass observability for all your Kubernetes clusters, namespace, pods, etc. You can still use Devtron. So many use cases and so many ways that the platform or the tool actually deals with the user, which is either a developer or a platform engineer. So I think that's the very unique thing. And lastly, but not the last, we are open source, which gives you a lot of, again, edge to play with Devtron, and don't be constricted with when do you have to pay us. It's only when you have enterprise type compliance governance features, then you deal with the cost side or the enterprise side of Devtron. So I think these are the four things which stand out for me, and most of the folks resonate with these four features. I think a lot of people in open source have shown a lot of love to Devtron over the years, and we've seen our contributors, we've seen our maintainers, we've seen a lot of people try Devtron, and there is so much of power that has been packed in terms of features in open source, that whether it is role-based access controls, SSOs, literally from an access control point of view, almost every developer in the world who's building something and now wants to deploy, especially on cloud native, should use Devtron to sort of see its power. And it's only that love which is taken. Now we do a lot of webinars and developer advocacy programs throughout the world, including with our partners like AWS and few others, where all the developers can actually build and deploy through Devtron and sort of see its power. And we've been maintaining that for years. So we're very bullish about the whole growth that open source has shown to us. KubeCon is always a reflection of the new technologies that folks are using, and how are we addressing some of those ideas. So a lot of people are asking about AI and what are we doing there, for example. So Devtron is moving more towards solving through an agentic side of things, since we have already captured the personas of developer and DevOps. Now we want to solve for more streamlining the deployment, which the theme is that AI has given a lot of spurt in the coding side of things, and we are trying to match the same speed and complexity on the deployment side of things. So going forward, you'll be seeing more of the features being built around IT management, infra management, as well as things get more complex on the deployment side of things, can we build, because these are the building blocks for a very agentic style of proliferation in terms of IT and infra management, and that is one big area that Devtron has current building blocks. So you'll see more innovation coming from our side into that direction.